Ladies and gentlemen, quick side note before we get into this podcast. On top of the construction this week, where the neighbour seems to be building a fucking swimming pool in their garden, we fucked it up, or it's fucked up, and 40 minutes of this cracking review, an awesome chat for Kingsman, it's recorded for the laptop and not the mic. But it's still great and it's okay and you can hear it, so it should be fine. Enjoy! 10 a.m. Let's do the podcast.
It's not 10 a.m.
10:01 a.m.
It's not.
NHS are next door.
It's not.
Drilling holes in the wall.
Oh, yeah.
10:02 a.m.
Yeah.
Opposite, across the road, they've decided to have building work, construction work.
Yeah.
With fucking diggers.
Diggers are
Next
loud.
to that house.
Yeah.
Next door to that house. Removal service.
Mm.
Thank God they've all come on this fucking Tuesday. Because I don't know what to do without them.
They love to plan a construction project on a Tuesday. Anyway.
Roll that theme, bitch.
Hey. Gets better every week.
It actually stays in my head. I think about it at night.
Yeah, me too. I find myself humming it, but everyone else does as well. I'm surprised they haven't been contacted to compose some scores for some high-profile
For
films.
every Christopher Nolan film.
Yeah.
Don't know what.
Blip 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 blip
Alright.
blip 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 blip.
Kingsman 2.
Mm.
The Golden Circle.
Hmm.
None spoilers first.
I don't know why I went because it sounded like I didn't really like it.
As if you didn't have notes ready.
As if I don't have notes ready. Please, would you care to?
Start?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, well, I'll start by saying, as much as it's getting trashed, or
Yeah.
seems to be getting trashed, I think it's a worthy sequel.
Yeah,
think
I
it's
do.
absolutely fine. I'm not saying it's as good as the first one,
No.
but the thing it suffers from, same with any superhero sequel.
Yeah.
Well, any superhero sequel to an original that was something new,
Mhm.
like Guardians. Although
Yeah.
I thought Guardians 2 was as good,
Yeah.
it didn't. It wasn't as memorable as the first one.
Yeah.
Because the first one was like, oh, this is a really nice change.
Yeah.
So then the second one, you were ready for what was coming.
Exactly.
Even though it had scenes that were better than the first one, like this
Yeah.
one had more scenes that were more sort of similar to the first one.
Yeah.
It didn't feel as memorable because
No.
it wasn't as fresh. Same with this. It's the only thing I think it suffers from is it's not as memorable as the first.
Yeah, and I
Because
think
the first was such a shock.
people would argue like, well, you need to find something that makes it better or makes it more memorable. But equally, when it seems like whenever they do that, people are like, oh, it's lost all the charm of the first one, and
Yeah.
it's a completely different film. Like they've forgotten what they were originally about. I think actually this is really good at keeping with the feel of the first one, like the vibe that the first one had, but it's just like gone a bit further and a bit
sillier.
yeah, it is a bit sillier. It is a bit sillier, but I didn't mind it. That was one thing I was going to say actually, is that when I was watching this, like a lot of times, I just found myself like sitting there with a really, really big smile on my face, and I don't think any other film this year has done that. I just think it's like it is fun. That is, yeah, it is really fun, and it's just and it is a bit silly at times, but not so much in the way that I'm like, oh god.
I think it knows it's being sillier.
Yeah.
It's a little jarring, but that's the robot dogs for me that makes it a little jarring.
Yeah.
But they're in the trailers, that's not really a spoiler. But they're
No.
a bit much, but only 'cause they feel a bit like a Transformers film.
Yeah.
When they're included in the film,
Yeah.
it's absolutely fine, but it's a bit much
Yeah.
for me.
I
That's
agree.
what I'll say. There
I
are a
agree.
few things I'm like, okay, it's a bit.
Yeah.
I know it's silly, and it's obviously trying to be the new James Bond.
Yeah.
Or it's now trying to say we want. Well, they say in the first one, actually, in the film, that they think they're too serious now. Spy films, they need to be jokier.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what it's going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't think it topped the first one, but I
No.
think it had a lot more Kingsman style than the first one.
It did, yeah. I think, and I think that's it as well. It really it hasn't lost, like, it knows what it's about, it knows what it is, and it's a really specific style. Like, there's nothing else that I think, oh, that's really similar to that, or like, oh, it's a bit like that. Obviously you can make comparisons with like the Gadgets and the
Inspector Gadget.
not that Gadget. Yeah, no, the Gadgets, and I don't know, I'll just cover my mouth while I'm talking. What a great idea, we're recording a podcast.
Saying it for the rest of the world.
The rest of it. It sounds like I'm next door. Anyway.
You want it to sound like you're next door.
I love drilling. Hashtag I love drilling. What was I even saying? Yeah, obviously you can make comparisons to like characters in it, like the desk guy like feeding you information, and you've got like the young guy out on the road, but I think that's all fine. I just mean that the style, like you said, is really, really specific to Kingsman, and I really like that. And it didn't feel too long. I was like, how long is it? 2 hours 20? What? But actually
yeah, it really, I said that some days, it really doesn't feel like you've been watching it for that long.
No, not at all.
Although strangely, there were times when I was kind of like, it's really hard to say, because it felt like it didn't feel like it dragged necessarily,
no.
But it felt like there was a bit too much in there still. There was way too many subplots.
There was only one time when I thought that, and I thought, God, are they going to get... Oh, I know when it was. Because they'd already introduced the statesman bit, they'd already gone there, and then I think it was when he came back and he was... I don't want to say anything spoilery, but there was a bit with... Again, this isn't a spoiler, because it's all in the marketing, and we'll talk about that, but it was the bit where he was with Colin Firth again, and I thought, they've already introduced the statesman, they haven't really done anything with them yet, and it had been like 20 minutes since they'd introduced them, and I was like, God, there's a lot going on. But that was actually the only time I thought it, and then after that I completely forgot that I even thought that until now.
Yeah, we'll get more into that spoilers I was going to say about the statesman in it. I think, and I'll get more into this as well, it's funny, it has a lot of heart, which I like, because I feel like, I don't know, for a sequel again, I think it's really nice how much heart there is in there, and there are moments when you do, like you said, you smile, and it feels quite sad, and it's just quite nice. But like, it's because they have one theme for the Kingsman that was in the first one, so they have their own kind of theme tune. Now I imagine Henry Jackman's composed, but they constantly use it, and it's kind of nice because it feels like its signature theme.
It does, yeah.
Awesome choreography again.
Yeah,
it works really well.
Really good.
Although saying that, without going into what scene I'll talk about in a bit, there's one bit towards the start of the film when it's a bit too much, I think, because I was watching and this looks so CGI.
What, the opening?
Yeah, with the cars. When they're driving. Yeah. This is the start of the film, so it doesn't really matter, it's not a spoiler. With the cars on the road, they don't look like they're cars, they look like it looks like it's just animated.
Oh, really?
In the chase, I was thinking, fuck me, that doesn't look great. And I know it's all meant to be that kind of style and look crazy, but they don't look like... It's the whole thing, though, because we're getting back more into practical effects and we're enjoying a lot more. The cars looked ridiculous, and I don't mean the whole skid. Yeah. I mean when they're just chasing, they look really weird.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But,
yeah. Do you know, I wonder how much of that is... we watched this in the IMAX again, by the way, and I wonder how different things look in there, because obviously it's a lot bigger, and the bigger things are, the more, like, I think the more noticeable things are like that. Yeah. Like, if CGI is not 100% like bang on, then I think that's really noticeable in the IMAX. Yeah. But yeah, I do know what you mean with that, because there was a couple of bits I was like, oh, it looks weird. But I still loved it anyway. I still loved it. Anything like a little bit in this film, a little bit, oh, I'm not sure about that, or like, oh, that's a little bit much, or that didn't look completely right, I just kind of forgave, because I enjoyed it so much and it was so much fun. And sometimes I just think it's just really nice to just go and have like a really, really fun experience. And I don't think anything this year, definitely not this year, has
Baby Driver?
Yeah, no, but that was fun, but that was really good as well. This was more fun. This is a lot more fun than Baby Driver. I'm not saying I enjoyed it more.
No, I've written that down now. It was just in a different way. I'm not going to tell Ed Bright what you said.
No. But it was just in a really different way that I don't think you can compare the two.
Yes. Did you hear that click on the mic? That was both my ankles at once then.
Snap.
I don't think
I'm going to try and stand up and face plant the carpet.
Should we get into spoilers?
Yes.
Yes.
Spoiler time. Right, spoilers.
Alright. Almost heaven, West Virginia.
Oh no, don't even.
Depressing.
Well, we got, I have to
Take
talk
me
about
home.
that first. I was a little bit upset. I cried. Really, really, really well done
That's what I
to
expect.
that,
Go on.
to them. Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's alright, and we've got that
We've
recorded.
got it recorded.
So now I don't ever
Yeah.
have to do it again.
No, we
Alright.
couldn't just send that off to people for
That's a
your
very good
audition
send-off.
tape. It was brilliant. It was just, yeah.
Do you know what the best bit of that send-off was?
What's that?
Oh, we're talking about Merlin's death. I mean, I think that was kind of obvious, but just in case.
Obvious.
The bit, I thought when they were looking at each other and just did a little nod and just kept looking at each
Yeah.
other. And it wasn't like, oh my god, we're going to have to stand here. I mean, it's a fucking stupid reason why he died.
Yeah.
It was X's fault, completely.
Yeah.
But it was very nicely done.
He had a minesweeper,
And it was
for
a shot.
God's sake.
Had a what?
He had a minesweeper.
A minesweeper?
Yeah, he was looking. He had a thing. The bat was a minesweeper, wasn't it? He was looking for mines,
Oh, right, yeah.
and then
And
they
just
got there.
stepped.
And he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
whoops, you idiot."
Yeah.
But yeah, I know it was silly, but well, it was,
But it's all right.
Not,
No,
not
because I didn't
silly,
expect. Yeah, but it
yeah.
wasn't ruined because I didn't expect. I wasn't like, for fuck's sake. I wasn't
No.
because we thought it was quite funny the way it was done.
Yeah,
Then I did not expect them to suddenly take the step on it because it wasn't leading. They hinted in the film about something happening with him because he kept saying about that song
yeah,
and he kept like saying about being out. Well, they said about being out in the fields and then you kind of knew something was going. But I did not. I still didn't expect.
I didn't think he would go. No way. Well, he might not.
Saying that,
People can survive fatal eye headshot wounds, so apparently anything's possible.
saying that is one thing I focused on with that bit because of fucking Harry Colin Firth coming back.
Yeah,
Is I watched. I was like, right, I want to watch when it goes off.
yeah,
When the mine goes off, is he going with it?
yeah.
And I watched, and you see because you can tell because they're all in like the college jackets, like and he isn't obviously in the suits. You can see him pretty obviously when he goes up. You can see him spin in the air.
Oh, really?
And I can only see I could only see I could see the blazer and the tie and the shirt is all I could see. Not saying he was in parts, but I could just see that bit quickly. He spin in the air.
Oh,
So I have a feeling.
I tried to look, but I couldn't.
Yeah, it was too sad. You had 2 tears in your eyes.
I did. I was crying my little eyes out.
So I think he could come back without
Yeah.
legs. I would not be surprised, but I also do not want him to because then not only was Colin Firth's death pointless.
It just means no one's going to die.
Yeah,
And
this
so that-
one was even more pointless because it was such a nice send off. Whereas Colin Firth didn't really get a send off. He just suddenly got shot in the face.
No.
And that's fine. I was saying about that.
For the film, I don't want him to come back because I think it would be a real cop out. But for my heart, I wanted to come back.
Oh,
It was
God.
so sad.
He was really good.
It was
I've
so
heard him in
sad.
this film.
I
liked
thought
him
he
a
was
lot more.
so good, so good, and his accent's pretty good actually.
He was more involved in the first half of this one than he was in the last film. I know he finished the fight with Eggsy in the first one.
Yeah.
But in this one, he kind of was more involved in the first half of him. Like they
Yeah.
were more of a team until
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
Harry came back.
Which obviously they were doing to build up to his death. But yeah, I loved the way that was done. And when the music came in and oh god, it was just
And the headbutt.
yeah, but,
Whoa!
yeah. Oh,
Um,
so good.
So anyone could return still, that's the only problem. He's not one for showing deaths on screen.
No.
And even when he does, they come back. So,
Except, yeah,
because we said about Roxy, she had all the Kingsmen
yeah.
that died.
That
So
was
I
a
about to
shock.
sing,
I didn't
Humpty
think
Dumpty
she'd
then,
go.
all of the Kingsmen and all
Yeah,
of
and all the kings. Oh.
Not that quick. Although I was saying that again,
Yeah.
the whole bit at the start when Eggsy and Roxy were texting, and she was like, "Am I the best?" What did
Yeah,
she say?
you're the best Kingsman or best friend, and I was like,
Said both.
that's
Really
hang on,
sweet.
she's gonna die.
Well, either she's going to die or it's going to be a romance.
Yeah, I actually thought that they might end up doing that thing where they make his girlfriend out to be like a real
What?
idiot, yeah, and then he's like, oh no, you're my best friend, I love you. I thought they might do that thing, but they didn't do that thing because she got blown to smithereens. With the rest of
Possibly.
them, possibly. We didn't see it. Although she was in her bedroom, and unless she, like I said, unless
she
she had
did
like a
dive. She knew it was coming because she did close the lap. Did she close the lap? I remember she jumped off the bed a
I
little
don't know.
bit. It didn't
Unless
show much, but she went, oh, fuck. and just
yeah,
kind of saw it
unless she
incoming.
had like a bunker in her bedroom though, she's probably a goner.
Yeah.
So
And that's one massive reason why this film had heart. Saying that going back to with his death.
yeah,
And as well as that, the first few scenes with Harry
Yeah.
Where when Eggsy brings the puppy into him, the new puppy like sort of trigger his memory to come back, and they hug, and that's a really nice
lovely.
scene.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean about the hardness from he is.
And the bit actually when they did that little flashback scene when she had made him breakfast when he was going off to work, and he had the flashback scene with Colin Firth, and then he kind of teared up, and I was like, oh god, that was actually really touching.
Yeah. Did you know that was a deleted scene from the first one?
Was it really?
Yeah, where they were where he was teaching him table manners.
Oh.
I read earlier today. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So that's why they brought it back.
Nice one.
Yeah. All the scene. I think anyone that Taron Egerton was on screen with worked really well as a pairing. He was good with every single one of them.
He was. He's really very good. He's such a talented guy.
His voice sounded different in this.
Yes,
to the
it
first
did.
One. Did it sound less chatty?
I know. Well, that's what I was a little bit confused at, because you know at the start when is it Charlie was the reject that came back? Yeah. When he said his name, he sort of went Charlie, and I was like, oh, has he become like full gentleman? Has he like lost all his chaviness? But then no, after when he's with his friends,
a flat cap and
I didn't. So I didn't know really what was happening there, but then he kind of stayed a bit more Cockney, but it did sound different. It did sound a little bit different. Maybe he's living in LA now and he can't do it as well anymore. I don't know. That seems to happen with a lot of actors. They start doing well, move to LA, and then can't do accents anymore.
You just reminded me. I think it's Marcus, isn't it? Whose birthday it was?
Yeah.
Was that meant to be his little brother? When they go to the birthday and he dresses back in his like shabby clothes. Is that meant to be? Because obviously he had a younger brother, he had a baby brother in the first one.
Oh,
yeah. His mum's not in this one till the very end.
I don't think.
It can't be, because obviously he got it fucking quick.
No, it'd be like 15 years on.
Who is it? Because he didn't...
It's just his mate.
Were they they weren't in the first one? I
don't know.
The first one. But then why is his mum in the baby? I guess there was too many. They probably took it out. Like I said, the first
He had a baby sister.
Oh, it was a baby sister, wasn't it? Okay. Because the first one, well, like I said, the first cut of this was 4 hours, so they probably cut all of his mum out of that one.
I was going to say, I wonder if she was... Because it was really funny, actually, because when it got to the wedding at the end, I thought, I wonder if she's like annoyed that they haven't put her in this film. And then she was there, but she obviously didn't have any lines, but yeah. Well done. Yeah.
Saying about that, going back to what I said about it being too many subplots, I didn't really need the princess stuff. I mean, she's finding it, I think that's quite funny, but I didn't need the whole, because it was just funny, that's how they started and how they've met and how they end up being a thing, but I didn't need the whole meeting her parents.
No, although that was funny.
Yeah, but I just...
that scene where
it's like, put that fucking down! Yeah. Just shouting at him. Yeah, but then there's no... But the thing is, there's no fallback from that. No. They just forgot about it, apparently, because they were fun by the end. But did they know that he saved the world, or did they just forgive him for telling the fuck off?
Yeah, I know.
It didn't really go. I assumed that was probably in there, and they cut it out.
Yeah, because I wondered if they were going to make like a face at the wedding or something, and I was like, oh no, they've just forgiven him entirely.
It felt too much of a plot to have a resolution that quick. And the whole thing was you're not meant to have a relationship if you're part of the Kingsman.
Yeah.
But they didn't it wasn't enough of a plot there, because there was just he spoke to...
I think that was like... meant to be his whole turning point, was the fact that he was trying to save somebody that he loved, but it could have been someone else. It didn't need to be her, really. Yeah, it could have been one of his friends. It could have been all of his friends. It could have been his mum. It could have been his baby sister. Yeah, it could have been
the bromance between him and Harry, because he was a bit against him this one, because obviously his memory was playing with him. And again at the end when he got married, I was like, I don't really care for a wedding scene at the end, because it's really generic. Oh, hey! Because like I said, what did they do to get there? Did they know he saved the world?
Yeah,
she probably did, but I don't know if the parents
that hadn't been a thing.
Yeah, and is that going to have an effect on the third one?
Oh yeah, I don't know, because now he's a prince, so possibly. Yeah, hopefully it's not going to be like a massive effect, him being a prince in the next film, but we'll see.
Don't want it to be.
No.
Talk about The Statesman. That was meant to be like that was a massive marketing point. Yeah. First off, Channing Tatum.
I was literally just going to say.
Strange. It was like really just like James Franco and Alien. Just put him in a fucking pod.
Absolutely
just to have his face for the marketing.
Didn't need it.
He was all right in it.
He was great. No, he was great. Yeah, he was great. But then,
all of them weren't really in it. I think Halle Berry probably had more screen time than Jeff Bridges and. I mean, you had Pedro Pascal, which was Prince Oberyn. He was more of a sort of marketing figure, regardless of what his role is later on in the film.
Yeah.
Which we can talk about anyway. I still think he was more of a... It's a shame he didn't get any kind of marketing.
Yeah.
But I think he's quite a big face. He's done Game of Thrones and he does Narcos.
Yeah.
And they're both quite big things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of strange that didn't really...
I think with the marketing for this film, they just tried to do like a whole... Well, definitely like the banners that we had up at work in the cinema. It looked like they were trying to do like a... Not a spoofing, spoof thing, that's the wrong word, but like have a... Because they were labelled, weren't they? Like...
Yeah.
A villain, a handsome spy, blah, and they tried to do like almost like, that's a better word, more like stereotype thing. So I don't know if they were just like, he can be, he can be this, she can be that, and we just didn't need him in it, really. But he was good.
I
imagine he was good.
Saying that he probably will come more into the third one because he was looking like a Kingsman
at the end. Yeah, he was dressed like a Kingsman. Oh, just very small side note. When he stepped out of that cab and put his umbrella on the floor, a wobbly paving slab, it really annoyed me. It really annoyed me. Were I directing that film, I'd be like, no, cut, move it.
Up so quick because you said it when we were watching.
I know.
It's not annoying you. It's like what? And they go, it's like Jesus Christ! You said it before it's even coming. Looking at a pavement slab.
It's very annoying. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, he was dressed like a Kingsman at the end, so I think he will probably come more into it, and I'm really looking forward to that actually because he was good. Saying he wasn't needed, they might have just been like, oh, we'll put him in this one like to introduce him, and then there's more of a thing for Statesman next time.
Maybe he's just more of a face as well for Statesman. I guess it's more of a thing. Other Statesmen, Jeff Bridges didn't do massive.
Again, not heaps, but he was still, he was fine.
Halle Berry was okay.
He was fine, but he wasn't very commanding, I have to say. Like Jeff Bridges, normally when he's on screen, it's like, oof, there's Jeff Bridges. He's like...
He was more laid back.
He was very...
He was playing a badass again, though, wasn't he?
I think he maybe just didn't have enough time, so being like laid back like he was and not having very much screen time, they kind of
But again, they could have cut a lot out of his stuff.
I agree. Yeah.
The same. I mean, as a whole, the Statesmen weren't really that involved in it. Weren't massively a part of this as much as you would imagine they were. Other than obviously Pedro Pascal, aka Whiskey, in this. Yeah. Who, saying that, I didn't really like him in this. And I really liked him. And I say he's more of a representative for the Statesmen because he has a lot more scenes. Like he does the same scene as the first film in the bar, but American style. Yeah. Because it's with Lasso.
Yeah. And I really like that how
mirrors it.
Yeah, because you kind of at the start of that scene when he does the manners maketh man bit, Colin Firth, and you expect the whole scene to kick off, and then it turns out because of his memory, he can't really fight that well. Yeah.
Sadly, because of the trailers, you know that.
Oh we'll come on to that. We'll come on to that because I have a lot to say about that. But yeah, I really like then how he kind of took that over and did that American sort of style.
I'll save that because I was going to say more about Harry as well, so I'll save that then.
Yeah.
Other than that, sorry, I was just going to say, talking about Whiskey, it could have felt like it had more interesting routes, and I said this after we watched it.
Yeah.
Harry shot him because he thought he was working against him, which he was, and that was a good call. Yeah. But then there was no sort of fallback from shooting. I would have liked to seen them sitting be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
but they kept it secret.
Yeah, I thought they might turn on each other. Yeah.
And that would have some fucking awesome fights.
Yeah, it would.
There was that, because either way, if he'd shot him or not, when he came back, he would have still done what he'd done and come after the Kingsman, so it didn't really have an effect that he shot him.
No, I guess, but then, I don't know, I mean, I think it kind of fueled his Whiskey, fueled him more, and also you had the fight between the Kingsman and the Statesman, because it was...
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, well, no, I mean between Whiskey and so I don't.
Quite a few, I guess.
Yeah, so you didn't. I guess you didn't really need them to turn on each other. But I agree, and I know what you're saying. It would have been like more. It would have been quite exciting. Yeah. Saying that about their fight scenes, actually, I just got to say, because in both of those scenes where he sort of took the lead on the fighting, I thought the use of music was just so good. Like I throughout this film,
it's a real thing for every action film, isn't
it? It is, yeah.
Sort of not dated, but older music.
Yeah.
For their sort of fight scenes.
Which
is not always working.
No, it's not always working because I think everybody's trying to do it. But when it's done right, like it was done right in this film, I think it's just so good. I'm like, I really, really like the music in this, and I think that's another reason why it makes me smile, because they get the fighting and the choreography just so good, and with the right music, it's just
But that's the thing. Well, I think this film's like a scale for that. I think the first scene in the car scene, I didn't like the music for that. Because again, it felt kind of like pushed in. It felt again, and I think it's because I said I thought it was too loud. My ears fucked in that first scene. I was like, this is way too loud. And it was very quick and very in your face suddenly.
Yeah.
And the music was a bit much. You mean?
Yeah.
There was that, and then on the other end, I love when they had Saturday playing at the end fight. It went really well with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually.
So I think there's a scale of how well it can be used and how it wasn't.
Saying about Saturday, I was really surprised how much I liked Elton John in this. I actually didn't know that he was in it.
You didn't?
I
It's
don't
on the
think
poster
so.
with the teaser with all their names on it.
I don't think I saw that. I don't think. Maybe I did and forgot, but I don't remember seeing that. But yeah, it was a really nice, like, oh, it's Elton John. That was quite a nice surprise. And then it was even nicer that, because I always think when they put people, I said this to you straight after, but I think when they put like really, really big faces in it that aren't necessarily actors, I never like that ever. I always, because they're not actors, and it's really stunted. And whenever they say a line, it doesn't sound right, it doesn't land right.
Aren't as comical as this.
Yeah.
Or aren't a comic book as this. So when they are pushed in there, it doesn't suit the tone of the film.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. But he was actually really good. He was very good. I thought it was really funny. Possibly slightly overused, like a couple of times, like the last couple. Not what he was used for the last couple of times he was used, but I just thought, okay, like, I've seen him now, and he came back a lot.
Every time he said "fuck off" was funny.
It was very funny.
Every time he swore, it was funny.
Yeah, that bit when she was trying to do that broadcast, and he was just in that last box with the guy. fuck off out my room. That was really good.
And the fight, and he was really good at parts. I don't think it's his fault, but I think. Sometimes I'm like, this is a bit too much now. Like, I know it's meant to be a cameo, but I was like, okay, it's just alright. This isn't all that funny.
Yeah, exactly.
His flying kick, I know people love, I didn't like that.
I was just going to say, that was one of the bits I was like, it was a little bit too far. But I mean, him, he was like surprisingly like good. I'm not saying like he's a great actor, but he was surprisingly okay. Like normally I would absolutely hate that, but actually I did find myself laughing. And he like worked himself well into the world.
Yeah. Do you know why I don't think I like his flying kick as well?
Why's that?
Because I feel like it's
the little wink to the camera.
Yeah, that, and also I feel like it was Elton John went, can I do a flying kick? Yes. And
of course you can, because you're Elton John. Yeah,
it felt like one
absolutely.
Of those bits.
Yeah. That just reminded me saying about like, how he fits himself really well into the world. I love how, I know we kind of already said it, but it has its real own style and its own world, and I think the director is so good at creating these like worlds that they're not like completely new things, style, but
what they are.
They're
over the top, and they're like the action doesn't necessarily have to make sense.
Yeah, And
it's like, because you can imagine like words like bam and crash coming up on the screen, and it would suit it.
Yeah.
But they've all got. You can tell what film this is. So you can look at Kick-Ass and be like, okay, that's this film. You can sort of look at what else he's done and be like, okay, you can tell that because they're all. Well, they are comic book films, but you can sort of see them go, okay, this is.
It's Stardust.
What, a comic book film?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I didn't know what its origins were. I've never looked into that.
What his origins were?
The origins of Stardust. I don't know if that comes from anything or if it's just completely.
I don't actually know.
That's so
but
good.
Everything else he's done, he did the first Kick. I mean, this is his first sequel.
Yeah.
He hasn't done, although he did. It did say he did write for Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
But he did X-Men First Class. And he did Kick-Ass. And he did Kingsman.
Yeah.
But
that's what I mean. It's just so like when you look at those, they're not. You wouldn't know that it was all the same.
He likes the colour yellow. They all have yellow in them quite a bit. Not just in film, but like on posters and like the font and stuff. They're all got a lot of yellow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I hadn't thought that. But like, some directors you just like, oh, that's obviously that director film. That's that director film. I just think he's just so good at creating like a whole universe that's like totally believable and has like a really good like. You believe it has a really long backstory. I know this is the real world, by the way. I'm not saying like he's created Earth. I mean, like, you know what I mean. A style is good.
Should we say about Julianne Moore?
Yeah.
Poppy?
Yeah.
I'll start by saying I thought she did it well.
I did, yeah.
I thought she's brilliant as it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the villain was utilised whatsoever.
No, it's a bit of a shame.
It just felt like kind of, I'm an evil bitch. I'm just going to like the meat like grinding scene stuff. Like she didn't really, because the thing is she wasn't used because she was in that one location.
Yeah.
Did she? I don't know if she left it. I don't feel like she left that location once.
No, she didn't.
So she never got confronted other than the very end, which lasted about 4 minutes.
Yeah, which was that, which I didn't mind. I didn't mind that so much because obviously that was like half of her character was that she couldn't leave because she was isolated, and I actually found that really interesting. The whole thing about drugs, and I don't know if they were trying to make a bit of a comment about.
Well, the first one was about mobile phones and addiction to electronics.
Yeah,
I think, and I think this one was more about addiction to drugs.
Yeah,
the plots are very similar.
Yeah,
like, it's just different things that society is obsessed with.
And I like that they didn't try and like shy away from saying that it was similar, because she even made the point, didn't she? She mentioned I can't think of Samuel L. Jackson's character in the first one.
I can't remember his name.
But she said about he did it, like he tried to utilize like that addiction. I can't remember the line she said, but she mentioned it anyway. So I like that she kind of went, well, he tried to do it, so why shouldn't I try and do it? Like, yeah, so I did like that. But yeah, I found it really interesting because it did feel like it's trying to make a bit of a comment about drugs and about addiction, and saying like, I know it's like quite a common thing that people say about like, oh well, alcohol is legal and sugar. Yeah, she said that thing about sugar being like 10 times more addictive, or however many times more addictive than drugs. And yeah, I did find all that really interesting, even though obviously it's like quite a common argument. I like that you don't normally see it in a film like this, so that was I like that. That was good.
That's the thing I think this falters a bit. There's no great antagonist in this one. I think Samuel Jackson is better.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the actress's name, the one who played the one who had scissor legs, like knife legs.
Oh, her name's Edward Scissor Legs.
Scissor Legs. I think. No, because in this, because she was good, but she wasn't enough of a threat, if you know what I mean, because she was only in at the end. Yeah,
maybe she needed like I was going to say she needed like a little sidekick, but I guess Charlie was the sidekick.
Yeah. And I didn't mind Charlie.
He was actually very good.
Fights.
Yeah, he was good, and I actually think he just played it really, really well. And I loved that he was.
Not recognise it was him.
No, I was going to say I loved that he was in the first one, and I've seen him on all the posters and didn't even clock that he was rejected Kingsman. I don't. Maybe I haven't seen the first one.
Roxy was in the first one. She's right up to the end of it.
Oh really?
At the start, I was like, who the fuck? Because she's wearing the glasses in this one. I was like, she doesn't wear glasses in the first one. Like,
I think she does at points.
Does she? I just didn't. It took a while to clock onto that.
She was like Chloe Grace Moretz. Chloe Fink Moretz. She looks like her. She looks like her a little bit. A little bit. Come on.
Saying that.
Come on.
Maybe it is her.
Come on.
It's not. Yeah, the president I thought was fucking stupid in this. I didn't want those bits. They just made him a really stupid president.
Yeah.
And I just don't think he was needed. Again, that's what I mean. Like all the people that were like
and
antagonists.
Who's that actor? I can't remember his name. He's in
President and everything. He's always some political figure.
Yeah. And I didn't need like his advisor that was on drugs, and there was like that.
That was, I'm pretty sure said that was really obvious that she was going to be, because she was sort of like.
That's what I mean. It was like a reveal, but it wasn't a reveal, because as soon as she was like, "Oh, but there's innocent people doing drugs. We should save their lives too." I was like,
"Did she need
so
to
you're on drugs?
Could she just not have had drugs and just have stuck up for them?
Could they not have bothered with that? And like they did that whole thing of putting her in the cage, and then they showed her coming out of the cage, and I was like, I don't care about her.
I don't care about them. That's what I mean with the president and with the princess. Just they're not. Then you've got so many statesmen and kingsmen in this film. You do not need all of these other characters.
I would have liked either more Halle Berry, more Channing Tatum, more Jeff Bridges than the president and the advisor and all that rubbish. Didn't need it.
Also, like this film, because I remember there's a lot of stuff saying like, "Oh, what's the statesman coming to rescue the Kingsman?" And there was all like this whole thing of America saving the UK. They didn't really do that in this at all, because the statesmen weren't really involved in the end.
No.
Saying that, then we go on to Harry, and the first one we see what Harry is. That I love that it finished with him and Eggsy side by side fighting, because the scene to Saturday is brilliant. The fighting there is awesome, because it feels like they've got the suitcase, which is brilliant.
Yeah,
which is a reference to
which I thought I was going to hate. I saw that when I saw that in the trailer, and I saw him shooting with it. I was like, oh.
But then it turns into the shield, which is pretty awesome.
Exactly. It turned into a shield, and that was better.
And then I didn't mind him when they fought the robot dogs. I loved it. He was like, fuck, and just ran away. It was really funny.
He's got the best run ever. I meant to say that to you. Whenever he runs, he literally, oh shit.
So he was really panicked in this film. He was, which I liked, but I also liked him in the first one. He was still good in this, and he's clearly a bit more vulnerable in this because of the memory loss.
And that was actually, oh god, so many times I went, oh God, because he just looks so
He was like,
small and vulnerable, and
kept getting scared.
that was.
And his voice changed quite a bit as well. He sounded a lot more soppy.
He sounded really young, and I really liked the idea, and it's almost like, well, okay, so obviously they said there had to be like a trigger for him to get his memory back, which I was a bit like, that's a bit far-fetched, but okay, I'll go with it because I didn't mind. Again, it's something I didn't really mind because of this film anyway, but I really loved, obviously, that he brings in the puppy, and I kind of knew that was what would turn him back into his old self again, which is fine. I don't mind that, and it was lovely and it's really touching. But the bit with the water, when they filled the room with the water, so much of me wanted to see him like absolutely panic, nearly die, and then remember what to do, because I think that also would have been a really good way of him coming back, and like possibly a more exciting one, even though.
What would he have done in the room with that? Well, he wouldn't. I guess the thing is, he wouldn't be able to do anything because he didn't have the toilet to breathe.
He had a shower though.
He did?
Yeah, and okay, I think that's what they did in the first one, didn't they? They got the shower thing.
I think it was like the toilet, wasn't it? Or maybe it was the shower. I can't remember. They pulled the tube out and
he did have a toilet in there, I'm pretty sure.
Either way.
Yeah, anyway. Thought, there was obviously a way for him to do it, otherwise they wouldn't have filled the room with water. But, and just, half of me was a little bit like, but I did really like that callback, because that scene in the first one is so good. Yeah. And I do think that was something they did really well, was like calling back to the first one, and like, they know what the good bits were.
It's just like, still fucking spectacular.
Yeah. So good. There's a lot of really, really good moments.
Speaking of Harry still.
Yeah.
The marketing.
Why the hell they put him in the marketing?
I don't mind that they showed him in the trailer and they're like, Harry? Because like...
I do. I mind. Keep it secret.
But the thing
can you imagine?
Yeah, but in the trailer they show him shaving.
Yeah.
No idea in the trailer did you know that he lost his memory. So I don't mind that. That's still annoying. But
yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, okay, got kind of quite a lot of interest. People were doing theories about how he's back.
Yeah.
But then it was quite disappointing of how he is back. It's just a fucking shit around the face. And
what?
Also,
the gel.
Yeah, and people were saying, "Oh, did he have a fake glass on?" Because I thought he was just in hiding with a statesman. Yeah. That was all fine, but the marketing has showed him in a Kingsman suit and fighting in trailers and all that stuff. If you hadn't have shown that, I wouldn't know if he would be all right in the end. I thought he might still have his memory, so they might have to train him up again. But because you've seen those bits, you know that, and the bloody one of the banners is him in the suit. Yeah. You know he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And it's just like you could have hidden that. A bit
you're
better.
Right. Actually, I was going to say they should have kept him out. No, I agree. Even if they, had...
It would have been a bigger shock if you kept him out entirely.
That's the thing. Can you imagine if you had no idea that he was going to be in it, and then that screen went up and he was stood there?
With Luke at the end. Yeah. Like, oh fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
You had no idea.
That just would have been like.
I guess the only trouble is with films, it's very hard to film.
I was going to see, I have an answer for that already. I was going to say, people could have gone, oh, Colin Firth said he's in this. Yeah, maybe he's in a flashback. Yeah. And there were even flashback scenes in this movie.
Maybe they just went the easy route, so I don't want it to get ruined that way. I mean, maybe,
or they went, I'm a bit worried that people aren't going to be as interested in the sequel if Colin Firth's not in it, because people love Colin Firth so much from the first one. Maybe they thought it won't do as well. If that's the reason, then that's kind of annoying.
Yeah. But then will it be the same with Mark Strong now? Because I thought he's brilliant and I don't want him to. I want him in it again. But I don't, because I would happily just bring another character instead of having to use him again and bring him back.
Well, then maybe that's why they've put Halle Berry in. Although who's going to be their man in the chair? Stole that from Spider-Man. Who's going to be their man in the chair?
Yeah. Don't know.
I don't know.
Is that everything for it?
I think so, yeah. Overall,
before I score this, I want to say I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's as good as... I don't think it's as innovative as the first one.
No.
So it was anything. But I think you have to go into this thinking this is just going to be fun and it's going to be a laugh.
Yeah.
And you can't go in there thinking, oh, I'm so excited for this. It's got to top the first one.
Yeah.
You just need to go in and just enjoy it for what it is. And probably cover your ears for the first 10 minutes. Because it's so loud.
I don't agree with, that all of the rubbish that this is getting. It's on 49% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is absurd to me. It is not
worse than Annabelle.
No, exactly. In comparison to some other stuff, I know it's all relative because obviously there was like big expectations for this film, but I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. There's great performances, like you said. It's got a lot of heart, and something that can make me smile that much and also make me cry. That's got to be pretty good, I think. Scores.
Want me to go first?
Scores. Yes.
Scores.
It's the hard one.
I hate guys because you always judge me for how low I get. No,
You
I'm gonna go 8.2.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Because I did really enjoy it, and it did make me
Yeah.
laugh. And there was moments like I didn't like cry or I didn't choke up, but there were moments when this is so like okay, my minor version of getting like crying or getting like is getting chills. Like
Yeah.
I get goosebumps when a moment's like really feels really touching or really human.
Yeah.
And the moments with Harry and Eggsy, and because you had those moments, and then had the fighting, then them two together at the end, and they went back to back.
Yeah.
I think that sort of made it better for me. I thought it was really nice. Before I get my score, actually, I just want to ask something as well. What was your favourite scene from it? Do you have one that's your favourite? Putting aside the singing, Mark Strong's.
Oh well, yeah, that
really
would
obvious,
have that would have been it. That would have been it.
Or your favourite fight bit or something? Or just a moment.
Favourite fight bit? Yeah, well, the last fight with those three and that song. Oh, I've forgotten the name of it. No.
Oh, you mean with Whiskey when Whiskey fights the two of them?
Yeah, I loved that.
Fair enough.
Bit.
Mine is probably the Saturday fight. Do you know? Mine's probably that. It's really hard because that whole segment when Saturday's playing and it's the two of them when they charge in.
Yeah, that whole bit.
Because that leads right off of Mark Strong's death. And I love the one-arm fight, the whole because it's the whole gentleman that's
so good.
Am I more of a gentleman? I'll make the scene when they fight one arm, and some of the choreography in that is brilliant.
So good.
And it's nice when those two face off. So I'd say that whole segment I loved.
Whatever that actor's name that plays Charlie is just worth mentioning how good he is in that bit because his face is just so. You know when some people fight and you like. Their fighting is really good, but their face doesn't match what they're doing. Yeah. You can kind of tell they're concentrating. He just looks so angry the whole time. I thought he was really, really good at that bit. Yeah, so I agree. I agree.
All right. Yeah. Well, I said 8.2 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 8.6.
I know.
I think that's a fair score for how good I thought the film was as a whole, and comparing it to the first one and everything. But like, if I was just going with like how much I enjoyed it, and I came out, and how I'd literally like give it 10 because I enjoyed it so much. Like I really want to watch it again, and I was gonna say I haven't really felt like that with a film in a while, and no, that's not true. Because I did with Baby Driver was really similar. I felt like a really I did not anywhere near as much. Nowhere near as much. Yeah, it's always really hard when you look back over like scores that you've given for past films, and I feel like I haven't scored it high enough for how.
Probably do not match up. No, because we've just changed. Because I think what we gave the first episode we gave Atomic Blonde and Annabelle like 6s and 7s, but compared to what we've been given these, or how harsh I've been on these,
I'd literally give it like Annabelle. Literally give it like a 3.
Yeah, compared to what we've been given these, definitely.
Yeah.
Even I can't remember what we gave stuff in the summer one, but even then we went aside. Yeah. Is that it then? I'm good for Kingsman.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next bit then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Holy shit, the audio's just got so much more enhanced.
Oh my god, my ears are so clear.
Wow. Right, so in honour of Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle, we were going to do Matthew Vaughn's worst to best films.
Sounded like you said The Garden Circle.
The Garden Circle.
It would have been a very different film.
We were going to do worst to best films, but don't want to watch the films again.
Nah.
In a few days, and also this is more interesting because there's so many great moments in his films.
Yeah, that's the reason. Not that we didn't want to watch films.
God, I hate films. So we've done best moments. We've taken a few out of his films here, probably the most notorious moments from him. And we're going to rank them.
Yes.
Backwards.
Yeah.
In other words, 5 points goes to your favourite. There's 5 clips. 5 points goes to your favourite. 1 point goes to your least favourite.
Yeah.
And then together we add our 2 scores together, and that is what the best one is. And we've decided that for everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
That's worldwide. That's just how it is now.
Yeah.
It has to be.
So this first clip.
Yeah.
Isn't actually from the film he wrote or directed. It's just he
Good stuff.
He has writing credit for it according to IMDb. So
it counts.
It counts. It's good enough. All right. First clip.
Yeah.
Code named.
Yeah.
Time in a Bottle.
Right.
It's from the film Days of Future Past.
Okay.
And it's the Quicksilver scene. Here we go.
Oh, I forgot how good that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you won't see this on the podcast, but we've just watched that first clip. We'll make a shorter video. Let's plug our other videos now.
Yeah.
Shorter videos. All right. Second one is from Stardust.
Yes!
And I'm just going to call it...
I'm interested to see what clip you pick for this.
The voodoo clip. The voodoo scene.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah. I know we watched that really recently, but that's still a really, really good scene.
Yeah. That was so we just watched the one out of Stardust, the voodoo scene.
Yeah, Mark Strong, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Love it.
Next one is again from one of his films, thank God. And it is the code word.
Yeah.
By the way, these code words, if you type these into YouTube, you'll be able to find our clips pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's called The Point Between Rage and Serenity from X-Men First Class.
Okay.
Here we go, let's watch this one.
Okay.
I was going to pick the bar scene from First Class where it's Eric, aka Michael Fassbender, when he wrecks those Germans.
Oh yeah.
But I thought I'd pick a nicer moment.
That's good.
Because this is a really good moment when he's trying to turn the satellite, where it's just him and... I mean, they're both brilliant as Magneto and...
Oh. And...
I want to see the actor's name. Xavier.
There we are.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
I didn't mouth it to you, or you just remembered all by yourself.
I was remembering you did it alright. Oh my God, that's terrible.
I'm not editing
blanked.
that out either. Oh, your eyes just went really wide, like...
It sounded really professional to the point I forgot.
Yeah.
As James McAvoy as Xavier Jobs. And
he's very, very good, isn't he?
it's a really nice scene.
It's lovely.
Because it shows a nice side to Magneto. One thing I will say about those prequel X-Men films is how Magneto and Xavier are both done. They're brilliant, and that's why I like that clip, because it shows sort of a lighter side to them. And it's not an action clip, because most of these are, but all the other ones are.
Yeah.
So,
it's
second
nice to have
last.
that in there as well. Sorry, I was just going to say, it's nice to have that in there as well, because there's moments from Golden Circle that would have been nice to put in, but we can't yet.
No,
it's nice to have a more hearty moment in there. Anyway,
yeah, alright. Second to last.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
This is the clip from Kick-Ass.
Which one?
The warehouse.
Oh,
the clip
yeah.
from Kick-Ass. The warehouse scene. There's 2 warehouse scenes. This is the first one.
Okay.
With Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Kicking ass.
Huh.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Do you know what I think's so good about that scene?
What?
I watched it earlier, ready for this,
Yeah.
and thought, oh, it isn't as good as I remember.
Yeah.
What I think about watching that, at the time, it was very rare for superheroes to be that fucking violent.
Yeah.
Or superhero kind of stuff be that violent. So that is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, also, it's made a hell of a lot better by John Murphy's composed In the House in a Heartbeat.
Yeah.
Which just makes anything crazy.
Yeah.
That's brilliant for that moment.
I was going to say that actually, even then, just watching him like pick up a gun and shoot people, I think because he looks like Batman, basically.
Exactly. Batman.
You never see Batman like really
Picking
pick
up
up
a
a gun. So even now, that still is like, oh.
Yeah. And I like how it's edited. It's very nice.
It's really nice, yeah. And the fighting is very, very clear, which I really like. And there's no like slow mo or anything like that.
No.
Not that I always hate that, because I don't hate it in Kingsman or anything like that. But sometimes it's just like, oh my God, stop it. But no, it's very, very good.
I'm calling that scene / clip In the Warehouse in a Heartbeat.
Nice.
Genius. I can get picked up by some big company for that.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Poundland.
Last clip.
Yeah.
And then we'll rank these. It's the infamous church scene from Kingsman itself.
Never heard of it.
Ah, fuck.
I wonder what my winner will be.
To think I associate that man with Bridget Jones once upon a time.
Hey! Bridget Jones is a masterpiece.
In a bad way, just did not ever expect to see him doing that.
No, exactly. That is why, as well, this film was so good, because it was like, whoa, Colin Firth, Jesus Christ.
It's such a good scene.
It's so good. I don't know how many times I've seen it, but honestly, it's so quick as well. Like when he runs out of bullets, he doesn't do that thing like, you know, when people run out of bullets and they sort of like look at their gun and they're like, oh no, I've run out of bullets, and they do that thing. He literally goes to shoot, he's run out, so he just smacks someone with his gun. It's so good. It's so good.
I think, let alone being amazing as it is, even more with that song.
They are really constructing, but carry on.
Freebird.
That digger is just really revving. But it's fine. Continue.
Bit of Freebird with that.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So I mean, you could have just played the song and I would have been happy, but
So we're gonna, that one I've codenamed
yeah.
Sunday Release.
Sunday release.
Church.
Oh,
Sunday.
like church. Yeah, I got it. Sorry.
I was thinking Sunday Violence, but I thought, nah, Sunday Release because it sounds
Yeah.
funnier. It's more
Nice.
quippy.
This is going to be really hard.
I've
To
got mine
score.
done. I've scored mine.
Okay.
You ready?
No, right. Give me a second. Okay, I think I got it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
All right.
So the one I've given 1 point
Yeah.
out of 5.
Yeah.
Voodoo.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, should we say what you've given? No, what have you given Voodoo? I have to do it that way so I can score these.
Oh, okay.
I
I
have to.
gave it 2.
2.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's got 3 overall.
Yeah.
Alright. We got. I can't do that. Was okay. We'll do Time in the Bottle next. Where have you put? How many points have you given it?
3.
3.
Yeah.
I've given it 4. Second
Okay.
best for me. 7 for that.
Okay.
Next one.
Yeah.
Rage and Serenity.
1.
1.
Yeah.
Interesting. I gave it 2. Next one. In the Warehouse in a Heartbeat.
4.
4.
Yeah.
I gave it 3. And then Sunday Release.
Oh, yeah, 5.
5. 5 for me too.
Big time 5. Big,
All right.
Big time 5. Yeah.
So they. Okay. So joint last
Yeah.
is Voodoo.
Yeah.
The scene from Stardust
Yeah.
where it's controlling Mark Strong.
Yeah.
Sadly, he's not singing in this scene, like with a voodoo doll. But he drowned.
Another-
But I like the effect when he drowned. When she
Yeah.
drowns it down, he floats up. It's a nice effect.
Another excellent death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second, well, joint last. Sorry, with 3 again.
Yeah.
Rage and Serenity,
Yeah.
which is the scene of Magneto and Xavier. Yeah.
Didn't sound like. Anyway, carrying on.
Joint second. So that's
Yeah.
joint second to last.
Yeah.
Is In the Warehouse in a Heartbeat,
Uh huh.
which is the scene in Kick-Ass.
Right.
Joint with that is Time in a Bottle, which is the Quicksilver scene
Yeah.
in Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
And that leaves number 1, obviously, Sunday Release.
Yeah.
Colin Firth kicking
For
ass.
many reasons.
Yeah, it's a free bird.
I think
At the
that's.
top of
I
10.
think that's fair. I think that's fair. It was a hard it was a hard decision between the bottom 2 because Rage and Serenity, like, it's really good. It's a really good touching moment, but it's not like as touching.
There are
as,
better moments
yeah.
in that film, but I just want to pick something
No,
different.
no, it's not even that. It's just I think just alone for the voodoo scene, I remember watching it for the first time, which is always like a good indicator, I think, of like how good a moment is when you like really remember it. I hadn't seen it done before. It's such a cool effect. It still looks cool now. I was thinking the other day when we watched it that maybe I would think, oh, that looks really bad now. I remember that looking better, but actually it still looks really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was just it was a really good concept. It was a really good idea. Whereas the Rage and Serenity is really good, but it's just a nice scene.
Yeah.
That's
Very
why
nicely
I
summed up.
went a little bit more on the voodoo.
I actually really like the warehouse scene, but I put Time in a Bottle above it because I think, in terms of filmmaking, it's fucking really well done.
Yeah,
And I was not
probably are
expecting
right,
that.
actually.
Sadly, I was expecting that because before the film came out, I remember everyone saying about it.
Yeah.
But it still was such an incredibly well done scene.
I may
Although
have-
technically it's not Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah.
But still, it's in there because he
Yeah.
had to do the film.
I may have preferred that slightly to the warehouse scene. I don't know, but I think yeah, maybe.
I actually
Maybe I
prefer-
should have done this the other way around.
I did the warehouse scene because of the score, but the other great scene in Kick-Ass is the one in the I think it's in a warehouse again where it's
Yeah.
when Big Daddy is burning up,
Yeah.
and he's like shouting
is
to Hit Girl because
really
Nicolas Cage doing his acting,
doing his acting.
doing his
What would he have done if he wasn't an actor, Nicolas Cage, do you think? Because he's absolutely nuts.
activist.
I don't know as a person, but as an actor, the man's insane.
A mime or an activist? My choices.
Like he would have been in prison.
Alright.
Just lost it. And
That's that for that
something
note.
crazy.
We'll
Yeah.
end on a note with Nicolas Cage. So what's it time for? Oh, remind me?
It's time for... You do it.
No, it's
Oh, okay. Alright.
your thing.
Let's do it together.
Yes, no. Oh.
Meh.
There wasn't enough annoying sounds today. Alright. There was a fucking load of trailers today.
That there was.
There was a lot.
Today?
Today? This week.
Today?
Today?
Yes, this
Yeah,
week.
this week there's a lot of trailers.
Yeah.
We touched upon it. It got released. It was delayed, but it got released the day after we did last week's podcast,
Yes.
which was the trailer for Tomb Raider. We were taking a mick last week, saying about how she could take the piss out of Michael Fassbender for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
She probably can't.
Yeah.
Probably not going to stand a chance because it looked bland as shit.
It looks very, very truly boring.
Yes, it does.
Very truly boring.
Yeah, so that's all we have to say to that. It didn't look great. It just looked like
No.
an action film, and
Yeah.
it didn't look interesting.
It looks pretty true to the game from
to
what
the
I've seen.
to the reboot of Tomb Raider.
But it looks like absolutely nothing new.
But when we watched the video of Tomb Raider, the game, when they rebooted it, and the trailer for the film side by side,
Yeah.
and the game,
Whoever did that video, thank you very much, because that's such a great comparison. Yeah.
the game actually looked better than the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those bits.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised that this is a bad trailer, but I doubt it.
we'll brush over these quite quick. I'll
Yeah.
just throw trailers at you and we'll just say what we thought. Isle of Dogs.
Oh, I knew nothing about that. I
No.
still don't really. That trailer was absolutely lovely. I'm really looking forward to it. It looks like such a well-made
Are you
film.
worried at all because you didn't like Fantastic Mr. Fox? And it's Wes
Well,
Anderson
yeah,
again?
that was, but well, only from the trailer. I didn't like Fantastic Mr. Fox. I did watch it a very long time ago, and I think I only saw it one and maybe
You
a
might
bit
like it now.
times. But I might like it now. My taste has probably changed quite a lot over the last however long it's been since that was released. But
Positive for that trailer?
from what I remember, this looks like it has a lot more like heart, and that's a very used word today. It looks like it has a lot of heart.
Yeah,
but it does.
it's a good thing to have
it
in your
looks
films.
lovely. It is.
Next up,
Mm-hmm.
Orient Express. Well, actually, I didn't even say what I thought of Isle of Dogs. I think it looks,
No.
I just promising. Hopefully, it's
Yeah.
good. Orient Express.
Yes.
Murder on the Orient Express.
Murder. I had to. Yeah.
I think it's be shit. Do you know why? Because they have too many big actors or actors in there. Not even just big, but just people. It's like, oh, you know Rey from Star Wars. She's in this too, and it's just like we got these faces. You got my fucking the worst one
Just
of them
trying
all.
to draw in an audience with lots of different faces. I agree. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I think
God,
it
your
will be.
voice is going in.
No. Oh, I think it will be fine. I don't think it's going to be anything new, nothing groundbreaking. Just fine. It'll
It's
be
fine.
fine.
That sounds boring to
It'll
me.
be just
Just
not-
fine
it'll just
sounds
be
boring as shit.
What it should be. Probably some half decent performances, and it will look nice, and that will probably be it. So
On a
yeah,
train.
nice and boring.
Had some zombies. That'll work.
Ooh.
Yeah. Jumanji.
Mm.
Welcome to the Jungle. That's straight from the song title. What did you see? My problem with this
Yeah.
is that I can tell exactly what kind of film it's going to be,
Yeah.
and it can be funny. It could be alright.
Yeah.
Although I thought the same about Baywatch, and it was indeed utter shit.
Yeah.
It could be alright, but what I know will bug me
Mm.
is that they've tried to give it like a video game spin, a video game kind of spin. It's like, oh look, these
Yeah.
are hit, and there's a bit of interest like this is our stats, and the little bubbles come up with our
Yeah.
stats. I don't think they would have bothered to get anyone who makes video games, any game designers,
Yeah.
in to say what would be cool little things to add in. I think
Yeah.
they just run the really like kind of generic like, oh that's a thing in video
Yeah.
games, so we've done that.
Yeah.
Oh, these are our avatars. It's really
That's gonna
shitty
really
throwaway
bug you.
bits.
That's gonna
It's
really
gonna fuck
bug
me
you.
right off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's got Karen Gillan, who I
do you know what? It's
stand.
either going to be I can't. She's so annoying, and she makes like 2 different faces, and that's it. And she overacts everything, which is very, very annoying. It's either going to be just a lot of like fun and a bit silly, just sort of a bit of escapism for an hour and a half, or they'll probably make it about 3 hours. But yeah, that's quite a fun idea that he's like a 16-year-old blonde girl. That's quite fun.
His career's gone in a good direction.
Absolutely, well done, Jack Black. But no, it might be just a bit fun, but it might be absolutely shocking. Also.
A lot of news this week on top of these trailers. Last trailer though,
yes,
The Punisher. You give me Metallica.
Yeah.
You give me The Punisher. John Burr from The Punisher, because it looks good. I can't. There's not masses to say about the trailer other than it looks fucking brutal. It's clearly got flashbacks, and it's set after his appearance in Daredevil season 2.
Which is interesting because I just assumed it was going to be before.
Because there's
probably
probably
going to be a bit of an Origins thing, and
probably a mix up.
Well, it seems. Yeah, I was going to say it seems like this is going to be flashbacky and flash forwardy.
Flashbacky. That's the new word.
Not flash forwardy. Just present.
Yeah. I think that's the most exciting trailer because the rest were kind of meh.
Yeah.
There were more trailers, but that's all I want to go over. So
that's fair enough. It's our podcast. We can do what we want.
Exactly.
Say
we
what
make
we
the
want.
rules.
Yeah.
Next bit of news. Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Is said to be returning to Terminator. Well.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you care?
No.
No, I don't really.
No, I don't.
Bothered.
I don't. I think the thing is with stuff like that, although it's big film news. Because Terminator's such a classic, unless you're a really die-hard Terminator fan, which I am not, and I don't think you are, it's not really,
On top of that...
But for some people...
Maybe they aren't excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope that you all are.
Maybe...
Yeah.
Arnie's going to walk up an island mountain bit...
Yeah. Yeah.
With a robot eye in his eyes, a robot eye in his hand.
Yeah.
And there'll be a cloak at the top of that mountain. /hill.
Yeah.
It's going to turn around as he holds out a hand to it.
Yes.
Linda Hamilton there.
And he's just going to...
Sagged.
Hold out... Sagged? That's not a word. But it should be, because I knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah. So there you go. On top of that, Arnie has also said that they're ignoring Terminator Genesis in terms of the Terminator law now. Which really fucking bugs me. And makes me laugh, because it was meant to be shit.
Yeah.
How many times can you keep saying, "Nah, forget that one. Forget that. Forget that."
No,
that one didn't do too well.
You can't just say, "Oh no, it didn't."
I mean, you can.
Not saying it didn't
and you
happen.
can have more separate films, like what Logan did for X-Men. Just go, "Well, fine, they're all separate films. They're all different interpretations. That's fine." But it's every time they go, "Oh, we're gonna Terminator."
Yeah, Logan did, but there was nothing like absolutely huge that you were like, "That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense." They just kind of didn't mention it so much, which is fine. But you can't. Oh, whatever.
Because Terminator Salvation was meant to be a new trilogy, and then they stopped that because it didn't do very good. Terminator Genesis, which is the one recently.
We'll just say the one before didn't.
That wasn't that long ago. That was with Emilia Clarke. That was a couple of years ago.
It was.
Now they're cancelling, saying that doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Whatever. Anyway,
doesn't count as a practice run.
As we say, we're not really bothered with Terminator anyway.
Next bit of news.
Yes.
On to other shit I don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
Avatar 2. Avatar 2.
See, this you didn't like so much, but this is interesting.
Yeah, Avatar 2 has fine, and even more now, I tweeted out saying that it was filming this week. It's actually started filming now, Avatar 2. They've started production.
Yeah.
Do you care?
I do, actually. I do care, yeah.
You do? Well, I disagree, because I don't care for those films.
I know. I feel like, right, we looked at the stats the other day, didn't we? And...
For highest grossing films?
Yeah. This is
number 2?
Number 2, yeah.
So, yeah.
Highest grossing films of all time. If you can find me... I was going to say 3, but 2. Even one person that will admit to liking this film, I'll give you £10.
People do it all the time. I can remember just because I remember going, "You're fucking weird."
Well, okay, but you know, I'm trying to prove a point, but alright. Do you know what I mean though? Like, more often than not, people will be like, "That film is rubbish." Well, clearly, a lot of people liked it.
But it did really well at the box office. But ouch! It was on a pencil.
Yeah, with a pencil. That was a special moment
because it made a whole thing of being in 3D.
Yeah.
And it brought people in because of the CGI and because it was
but not
James
that
Cameron
much.
And because No, but it would have brought in a lot because it was James Cameron and because it was 3D. I'm not saying people. I know what you mean. People say they don't like it because it's cool not to dislike.
Yeah.
I don't like it because I think the character's piss poor.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you.
And they have sex with plants. And I'll tell you why they have sex with plants.
Yeah.
Because they make love by attaching their tails.
Yeah.
How do they connect to other stuff? With their tails.
Yeah.
What's happening there then?
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Next bit of news.
Well, hang on. No, I'm not done with this.
You're not done with this?
I'm
Alright, come on then.
I'm done with this. What I was going to say is, I don't remember it very well. Because I haven't seen it for probably about 7 years. I don't know what's happened. For about 7 years, probably. When did it come out? How many years ago?
Don't remember what year. I thought it could be around 20.
I probably haven't seen it since like a year after it came out. And I think I've only seen it like 1 and a bit times. But
one and a bit times.
One and a bit
Sounds
times.
so. You must have loved it if you watched it 1 and a bit times.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't love it. I just remember thinking, this is very, very pretty. This is very beautiful. I haven't seen anything look like this before, and that's why I probably
watched
found
Smurfs. They're blue in the
I
forest.
know. I was like, oh, hang on. Smurfs 3D. No, but I kind of want to watch it again because I don't really remember it very well. And I am interested. The reason that I care about this news is because it's going to get so many people talking when it eventually comes out. I think there's going to be a lot of like interesting stuff
When it comes
surrounding
out
it.
2032.
2030. Oh, that is only
It's
2 years
close.
apart.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be 31. Anyway,
Talking about dates and production and
you may
stuff.
continue. Yeah.
It Chapter 2
Yes.
already set a date for September 6th, 2019.
Yes.
So pretty much 2 years away.
A couple of years to wait. Yeah.
There's not much to say about that. It's quite
It's
far
going to be
away.
one of those things that, because at the moment I'm like, oh no, that's too long. But it's the same with like Game of Thrones, like you said.
You'll
this the
forget
other
about
day.
it and then it'll come back around.
For like a month, you're like, oh, and then something else comes out that's really good, and then you're like, oh, I even forgot it was coming out. And then like 6 months before, you'd be like, oh, yay, can't wait. But good, yeah.
I reckon what they're going to do for the second one.
Yeah.
I haven't made a guess before. I reckon what they will do. They'll get those kids.
Yeah.
Whack them in some weird ass time machines and jump them forward for 30 years or 27 years older.
Yeah.
Inject them with
Definitely.
some dodgy sci-fi
Oh
shit.
my god, what would you
and
do?
they'll be older for ready 2 years later.
What would you do if they just like put really bad like prosthetics on them just to make them look really old?
Backwards CGI. They
And
make them
then
look
just
younger, they make them look older. But they're the same height still.
Yeah. like in Back to the Future, like that kind of like where they make them look really old. Oh my
It's the
god,
kid
it's
from
so
Stranger
good.
Things. No, I'm going to have to kill this fucking clown again.
Yeah. Or
Don't know
they
why.
just have the exact same voices.
No, I'm going to have to kill this clown.
That
No one's like that.
doesn't sound anything
Like any one of them.
No. But yeah.
That's what I reckon they're going to do.
That'd be
That'd be
so
genius.
funny.
That's why it's 2 years away, not 1, because they're giving them 2 years to get
Now
ready
get
for the
old
new-
looking guys. 'Cause
Yeah.
You're gonna be.
start smoking.
Yeah.
They're going to get them ready.
Give them drugs.
They're giving them 2 years to get ready. Like, well, prepare in this new world of theirs.
Yeah.
Looking old. Feeling old.
It'd be amazing. I wonder who they cast. I am really excited to find out who they cast. When do you think we'll know? I'm so
I
excited.
am, but I'm not, because also I bet they're going to bring in some big actors and actresses for this now. And I don't want them to, because I want people faces I don't recognise.
Yeah, I guess.
Last bit of news.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to butcher this name even though I've tried to practice saying it.
Aw. I just
Dennis
imagine you in front of the
Denis,
mirror,
Villeneuve.
like trying to practice. And it was, yeah.
the director,
Mhm.
probably your favourite, definitely my favourite director,
Yeah, he's my favourite.
has said
Yeah.
he's the director of, in case people don't know, he's the director of Blade Runner 2049, which is out in a couple of weeks.
Are you going to be in his next film? I feel
Yeah.
like that's what this building up to.
That's exactly that's why I said he's my favourite director. I've got and point to him.
Congratulations.
Basically, I think he was in an interview, but he said that Blade Runner 2049,
Yes.
the theatrical cut,
Yeah.
is the director's cut.
Yes.
Which is just such a nice little. It's just like,
Isn't it
even more.
great?
Could you not be more excited just to say that? And it's just
Yeah.
like that's so nice because
Yeah.
that's what it should be. Is it
Yeah.
your film?
Yeah.
I love that.
It's
When you see
great.
everything that he wanted to put in there, he knows what he's fucking doing.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Very long.
I hope it's going to be great. But
Better
then,
be
but,
good,
but
but-
Kingsman was 10 minutes less, and that did
Yeah,
not drag. So
and it
hopefully
didn't,
this is
no.
brilliant.
I'm really excited, and actually even just to know that it is that cut. Like even I was gonna say, even if it does feel a bit long, you don't really mind as much because it's like everything that he wants to put in
Yeah.
is there.
For a reason, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's very good.
On top of that, they've obviously got short films they're putting up onto YouTube.
Not so great.
and an anime coming out.
Oh,
I
really?
told you it's prequel anime.
No, I didn't
Set
know
in
that.
2022? Yeah.
Did you tell me that?
By the
Anyway.
gentleman that did... I can't remember what anime, because I don't know my anime too well. But he's quite a famous
Oh.
man in the anime world.
Oh.
And he's
Anime.
doing a prequel to it, which will be live on the internet soon, I believe.
I'm
Don't
not.
quote me on that.
I'm not about to say that they're bad, like these little films, but I mean, I think we've already said
Yeah,
this.
we've
But
said
if
it.
it needs to be said,
Said
then
for
put it in the
Amy.
film. You got your director's cut there, so just
Whack it in there somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's everything then.
That's everything.
Celebrations are in order. We're on iTunes now.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means, hopefully you get more listeners. So you can listen to this on the go now.
On
which
the
is
go.
wonderful.
Yeah.
You don't need the internet. You just need to download it with the internet with some Wi-Fi. Go off.
Oh, I've got
Go
a
do your
really
daily
long
duties.
train journey. What shall I do? Listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Maybe people at work don't like you having YouTube open or YouTube window open.
Yeah,
So you thought, oh, I'll just stick it on my iPod. It's
Yeah.
great. It's great having it on there.
it's very exciting.
Wish I found out 10 fucking days ago when it went on there.
Yeah,
Not
but we've
yesterday.
been waiting to find out whether we've been approved to be on iTunes or not. And yeah, we got approved like
10 days ago.
10 days ago.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
didn't realise.
So-
But yay!
So if you just as I happen to be listening to this on iTunes,
Yeah,
and check out the official pages for
Yeah.
this channel. We are expanding quite a bit now.
We
Now
are
we've got our own channel for this podcast. We
Yeah.
will be making another channel.
yeah.
What is it called? I
I
haven't
don't
forgotten. I'm generally asking you to
I
try
don't
and.
know.
You know what it's called.
I don't know.
We were going with Wide-Eyed Runners.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking me what we were going to name our first short.
Oh no,
Did you?
that's a
Ask me
mystery.
again. Ask me again.
What are we naming our first short video?
No, the other one.
Oh,
The original
what's
question.
our central channel? The hub going to be called now?
Oh, thank you for asking. It's going to be called Wide-Eyed Runners.
Great.
Yay!
There it is.
So look out for that everywhere.
We'll have a lot of
Wide-eyed.
short videos on there, a lot of other sort of content, as opposed
Yeah.
to just this podcast. But this will be on iTunes.
Yeah.
This is where you'll find us. But if you want to find us anywhere else, we'll be on Facebook. Just type in "What are we calling this" for the podcast,
Yeah.
or "Wide-Eyed Runners" for the entire thing.
And look
Probably
out.
better to search "Wide-Eyed Runners" now.
Yeah.
Send me the Twitter page. I'll probably change it to that. But if you want to find us on YouTube, then what are we calling this?
Yeah.
Is on that search
And look out for those shorter funness.
videos. If you want to see
videos.
the clips, as opposed to just typing, if you want to see those clips from the game earlier,
Yeah.
then
They will
we
be
shall
in
be
our-
releasing
yeah.
a shorter video with them in.
Yes.
Thank you very much for listening.
Thanks.
Sorry about the terrible fucking audio
Yeah.
and all the
what a
construction.
shame. What a shame.
Apparently the bungalow opposite is building a mansion in their back garden now.
I think they're building a pool. We should go over there. We're going to go over there now.
Right.
Have a good week.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.